How you doing? This is Dennis Lawrence with This Old Shack, and today we're going to be building a sparrow house, and I've invited a guest. This is Chloe Mathis. Say hi, Chloe.
Hi.
She's going to help me out today because I wanted to pick somebody, one that was young, that does not normally do woodworking, and the whole purpose of this video is to teach people how to do woodworking. And we're going to build a sparrow house, and this is one already completed. And even though this is a sparrow house, they can also be used for wrens. The only difference between a sparrow house and a wren house is the hole size and location. So Chloe, are you ready to build a bird house? Yeah. All right. First and foremost, most important thing is to wear safety glasses. I apologize in my first video, I wasn't wearing them. And I had a lady named Harriet Majoris who was very quick that sent me a message and said, hey, where's your safety glasses? So you should always wear safety glasses. So Chloe, put your safety glasses on and we'll get started. The first step in this is we've got to prepare the lumber, and what we've got to do is we're going to build the roof first. Now the roof and the bottom are pretty much the same. We're going to make two, but the difference is when we nail them together, the roof is going to remain this width, and then we're going to actually cut this narrower, so that'll be the body of the house. So step number one, we need to lay our boards out. So Chloe, what I need you to do is lay this out. We need, these roofs are 9 inches long, so we're going to do two out of here. So mark it on 9 inches and 18 inches. And then we're going to do two smaller ones, which is the body of the house, which is 6 inches. So I need you to do 9, 9, and then 2 6s. So 9 inches, yep. Mark it on 18. Mark it on 24. Then mark it on 30. Excellent. Now we got our board laid out. Now there's different ways you can cut these boards, okay? Old school way was with these, okay? My mother gave me this as a Christmas present 100 years ago. Believe it or not, this saw blade is probably 40, 45 years old. And I keep it for sentimental. I'm not cutting any boards with this, too manual. Now, if you only have a skill saw, you can use a skill saw to cut your board. Now, if you don't have nice saws, this is a jigsaw. This comes from Harbor Freight. It's a cheap jigsaw. It's 20 bucks. If you're going to build a birdhouse like once every couple months, this is all you need. You don't need to go out and spend a lot of money on saws. But we're going to cut everything today on a table saw, a miter saw, because one, I have the tools, and this shop is 40 years of collecting. So, with that said, step number one, we're going to rip some boards. You ready to rip some boards? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and nail the top together. Now, traditionally I use a nail gun, and the reason I do that, Chloe, is because these are the nails we use. This is a 16 gauge, 1.5 inch electro galvanized nail. What does that mean to me? You look at me like, yeah, okay. Electro galvanized means it's coated and it can handle the weather. If you don't have a nail gun, you can nail it together. I would strongly recommend, this is a screw shank nail because it's a spiral, so when you nail it in, it twists, hold it in place. If you nail it together with regular nails and a hammer, you need to pre-drill your holes. It's very important because getting a nail to go in perfectly straight is difficult, but because we have nail guns, we're going to use nail guns. So step number one, what we're going to do, Chloe, is we're going to nail this together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this into my vise so it'll hold this board so we don't have to hold it while we're doing this. And then Chloe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you with this. Okay? So step number one, we're going to line up the edge of the board, and I want you to start right here. You see our mark? We don't want a nail there, we want a nail right there. So I'm going to show you how to do the first one. Okay, I'm not on the mark. I'm just going to hold it perfectly straight and shoot. Okay, so take the nail gun, get it right here. Now don't get on your mark because we're going to cut there. Alright, right there. Give it a shot. There you go. Alright, we need some more. More. Alright, put one right there. There you go. Push that. Okay, now, this is the 6 inch one, so I want to get a nail here. Put 3 nails. 1, 2, 3. Okay? One. Get one in the middle. 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. This is the other bottom. Same thing. Stay off your nails. Stay close to the edge because we don't want it to come out. There you go. Get you one in the middle. Right. One more right there. Okay. Now we marked the first one 9 inches, didn't we? Okay. So let's get this one nailed. Put your nail right there. Very important you don't shoot these nails in your fingers. Okay. Alright, now there's a mark there, so get that nail there. Stay off your mark, because that's going to be a cut line. Okay, now get you 2 more like right there and right there. There you go. One more. Good job. And like I said, Chloe, the first step, we want to set our rib guide to 5.5 inches, which I already have it set on 5.5 inches, so we know this space is 5.5 inches. It's very important. Now what we want to do is we're going to rib this board two ways. We're going to go this way, then we're going to go this way. That way we're guaranteed both boards are going to be exactly the same. If we try to cut these individually, we might get lucky. So Chloe, here's what we're going to do next. I want you to do this rib. So as you go through, okay, I need you to hold it to the top, and as you get to the end, hold your hand right there. We're doing this so both sides are exactly the same. So Chloe, step around here, turn your saw on, take your left hand, turn the saw on, pull it out. Now next we're going to do is we're going to cut these into the lengths we need. We need 2 roofs 9 inches and 2 house sides, which are going to be 6 inches. So I want to cut this first. First thing we want to do is turn the ventilation system on, which I'll do for you. Go ahead, Chloe, line this up. Pull your blade down, get it lined up on your blade. Pull it down. Pull it. There you go. A little force, get it lined up. Get your mark lined up. Okay, now you got to hold this tight and in like that. There you go. Hold that tight. Don't move that hand. Keep that hand right there. Raise your blade up a little bit. All right, hold it. Squeeze. Perfect. Raise it up. Good job. All right, Chloe, the next thing we would do in this case is we got the roofs we just cut, and we would take and sand them. Now, you can use any kind of sandpaper. You can just use, this is an old scrap of a belt, and you just go over the edges, because you don't want any rough edges on here. So we would sand them up real good, clean them up. So we ripped the base to an arrow. Now we got the roofs and sides. The next step we got to do is we've got to build the actual end pieces. Now, the end pieces are just ripped out of a regular piece of cedar. So what we did is we took it on the table saw and just ripped it out to that width. And we made them perfectly square. Now, this is the same size as the little body we cut. And what we got to do is we got to make 2 pieces like that. We're going to take the 2 pieces, we're going to nail one on, which is permanent, which we want to nail the face on. The back, though, we're going to screw on because we want to be able to clean the birdhouse out. Now, if you notice, we just took basic board, just cut a square, and then I notched the edge, and then I did some sanding on the belt sander. But what we've got to do is we've got to drill a hole in here. So next step is we're going to drill a hole. Now, there's different ways to drill holes in these. Okay, there's 3 different type bits. This is a Forstner bit. It's got a razor edge on it. Okay, and it's very sharp. These bits are very expensive. This bit's like $50. Most people don't have this, but you can do this with a hole saw, which is, you can get these at Home Depot or Lowe's for like $3 or $4. And what you do is you just mark on here. Now, if you notice, I have a little template. Now, I use this template because it tells me where to put the marks. You see, it says Wren, that's 1 1/4, and Sparrow's 1 1/2 inches. So what I do is I just take the little top, I stick it on there like that, and I take my pencil. So what I want you to do is I want you to set this up. We're gonna do a sparrow house. So what I want you to do is just take the top. All right, that's the very top because of a little notch. Mark that hole, and then we're going to take this over to the drill press and cut it out. So what you want to do is take your pencil and do a circle in there, mark it all the way around the outer edge, hold it tight. There you go. So what we got to do is we got to drill that hole out. Now, one of the things that we do, if you notice the top's notched off, there's a reason for that. Every birdhouse must have 2 things. It must have proper ventilation, it must have drain holes. If you look at these houses, you'll notice, see the little notch in there? Little notch in there. on both ends. That's so airflow, heat can come out. There's also holes in the bottom. That's for drainage. In case it rains, water gets in them, it can, as you have long hair in a ponytail. When you're operating a drill press, you definitely don't want to have hair hanging down, because hair will grab it and it'll snatch it out of your head. So I ask you to put another scrunch in. So that's the purpose of that, because you don't want anything to get caught in a bit. So what I want you to do is I want you to drill this hole. So I want you to bring that down. Bring your drill bit down. Come on down and then line it up. Once you get it lined up on the hole, now hold it right around towards me. Okay, now raise it up. We clamped it down so the piece can't move. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and turn the thing on and then start drilling. Go all the way through. Let's unhook the clamp, take a look at our piece. Shake it off. There you go. Good job. What I'm going to do, Chloe, is because a birdhouse needs to be opened, okay? Most birdhouses, cheap ones, they nail them all together. Well, what will happen is the bird will nest and they'll have babies. And when they come back, they'll put more nesting materials on it, and then they'll have babies. And, you know, they may do 2 or 3 broods. Eastern bluebirds will not nest in the same nest. So if you have eastern bluebird nests, you got to clean them out every year. Now, sparrows, every 2 or 3 years is fine, but what they'll do is they'll fill the nest all the way up to the top, and then there's no more room. So what we got to do is we got to fix it so we can open it. And the way we do that is we nail one end. So we're going to take this roof that we just cut. Now we know this is the house, so what we want to do is we want to nail this in place. So with that said, I want you to get your nail gun. Okay. Now, remember what I told you about parallel? I want you to shoot 1, 2, 3 nails there down. Don't hit that line there, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Get right on the line. Stay close to the edge. Straight, perfectly straight. There you go. Shoot. There you go. Get it straight. There you go. Shoot. All right, get you one right there. Shoot. There you go. Now let's get 2 over here. Get one right there. Squeeze. Shoot. All right. Now when you see the center of the board, you want to make sure you keep it in the center of the board, so keep it perfectly straight. No fingers near where the nail comes out. You can hold it where my left hand is, you can hold it there, but you don't want to hold it anywhere where a nail might shoot up the edge. There you go, shoot it. Right now that we got the front all nailed on, we got that solid, we got to put the back on, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the back on, and we're going to fix this so it screws on, okay? So what we got to do is pre-drill some holes. What we got to do is I want you to drill a pilot hole here first, so I need you to do that. Drill this pilot hole, get it kind of in the center of the board, right in the middle here somewhere, there you go. Alright, now drill it straight down. Drill your pilot hole. There you go. Hold this tight. Wide open. Keep the drill wide open all the way in and out. There you go. Now put a screw in there. Keep pressure down. There you go. Come on. There you go. So now we got the basic house structure built. All we have to do now is put the roof on, which is the easy part. Okay? The next step we want to do is we want to put the roof on. So what we do is we've got to take this roof, we've got to put the house on there. Now remember, we want the little air pockets going. You see how it's kind of bowed? That happens with wood. But what we want to do is center the house, okay, like that, and then we want to nail it on. So, okay, Chloe, what we're going to do now is we're going to nail the roof to the actual house. So what I need you to do is put a couple nails in there. So shoot your nails. You're getting good with this nail gun. Squeeze it. Got to push it all the way down. There you go. Hold it straight. There you go. Squeeze. There you go. Get your nail right there. You're nervous with this nail gun, aren't you?
No, it's pretty fun.
Most people get jumpy. All right, now I need you to get some nails into the side. Okay. Come down here and get you one on the end. Then get you one in the center. All right, now get you one right in the middle. Good job. Now we got the 2 screws in the back, you drill those in, but now we got to get the 2 screws in the top. The purpose of those 2 is to hold the structure of the house together. So this will keep the back tied to it. It interlocks the pieces. This will keep the back tied to the actual roof. And every couple of years what you need to do is just take a screwdriver and take these screws out, take it off, and I strongly recommend when you clean these nests out, just use a stick. But do it in the winter. And the reason I say during the winter, because birds do have mites and fleas. And if you clean this out, you might get something on you. So I strongly recommend wait till it's really cold, take the back off, get a stick, just clean it out, and rinse it out with water. Do not use any kind of chemicals on this birdhouse. Don't use bleaches, Clorox, or cleaners. Because sometimes those chemicals, those smells will deter birds. So what I want you to do here is I want you to get this pilot hole drilled and go ahead and put a screw in the roof of this one. So you need to drill right there in the center. Now put you a screw in there. Push down. Keep going. There you go. All right, next, Chloe, what we want to do is we want to go ahead and put the screws in for the chain. So come over 2 inches, put your mark up there. There you go. And we want to do the opposite side, that way the birdhouse will balance. So come over 2 inches from this end and just put your mark. There you go. Now, get your drill, and what I want you to do is a pilot hole through there and drill both of those marks. Drill one here and one over there. There you go. Okay, pull it out. All right, now drill over here. Drill this one. Okay, now we're going to use this chain. This chain is aluminum, but it's coated. It's coated to protect it from the weather so it won't rust. So what I want you to do is get a screw, put a screw through here, and then we want to run a screw down there, but we don't want to run it all the way in. We want to keep it off about that far. So get your hammer drill and run that thing down and keep it, like I said, about a ½ inch off. Keep it on going. A little more. Keep your fingers away from there. That's good right there. Alright, now do the same thing over here. Get another screw. There you go. There you go. So now you have completed your first birdhouse. This is a sparrow house made by Chloe. Now, we're missing one thing. Can you tell me what we're missing, what we have not done yet?
Put a bird in it?
Yeah, bird living in it. That's a good one. Now, remember what I told you about ventilation? What was the other thing that a birdhouse has to have besides ventilation? Drainage. There you go. Now, what we're going to do, you see where the seam is? That's where this board meets that board. And what we don't want to do is drill into a nail, okay, where she nailed it together. So what I want you to do is take your pilot drill and drill right into this groove at a little bit of an angle so it goes into the house. So get in between those two, so one right there. Now bring it up like that angle right there. Now drill. Go all the way in. There you go. Alright, give yourself another hole. Make sure you're not drilling a hole on the nail. We don't want to ruin that bit. By the way, these bits are expensive, so you really don't want to hit nails. There you go. There you go. So now we have a sparrow house. Now you can hang these things anywhere. If you have a carport, if you have ferns, then you know what I'm talking about. Sparrows will build nests in ferns. You can hang this under your carport anywhere, and you got a nice little sparrow house. And if you want to make a wren house, the only difference is 1¼ inch hole. Chloe, thank you so much for helping out. I hope you learned something. Hi Chloe, I want you to introduce yourself to everyone out there on YouTube.
Well, I'm Chloe Mathis. I go to Harris County Carver Middle School, and I will be 13 next month.
I want to thank you so much for being with me. I hope you learned something today, and I hope maybe woodworking is something you might be wanting to do in the future. Thank you so much. Have a great day. God bless.